In this module, I'm going to show you the two different types of marathon running and training. The old model, which is the traditional wear and tear, no pain, no gain way, and the new model, the 9-mile model, 9-mile marathon mastery. In this training module, I will show you the differences between the two models, and I will show you the process how to get there. How to get there from the traditional model to the new model. We will discuss a step-by-step plan all runners will follow when you make the transition from the old model to the new one. Now let's jump into it. I have 3 pinups available for you to download below this video. They are called Switching to the New Model number 1, 2 and 3. You can download the files. I suggest that you choose which one you like most, print it out, pin it up. Marathon runners who are following the classic training model are living the no pain, no gain mantra. Nothing can beat long and slow running miles. The more miles you run every week, the better you will get. Nothing beats miles. Traditional running coaches will tell you this. An example. If you want to run under 4 hours, you must run 50 to 70 miles per week, which means when you run a 10-minute mile, 500 to 700 weekly training minutes. 500 to 7 minutes per week means 7 to 10 hours per week, just running your long training runs. Therefore, classic coaches will also advise you that you have to sit down with your family members, your friends, your colleagues, and explain to them what you will do for the next 4 to 6 months. You have to ask them to stand behind you, to support you, and help you get through this. And to be honest, many marathon runners kind of like this. They like bragging about the number of miles they ran each week, the hours they spent on their feet, the longest early morning plus 3-hour run they did, how hard it was, how they suffered, dark roads, rain pouring down, how tough it was, how tough they are. In the regular world of marathon training, we are supposed to do this. What Marathon Running Mastery is all about is evolving from this classic model, this traditional perception, to a new model. I help you make the change to the new model, to go from tough to flow, from suffer to feeling like you can keep on going forever, from the law of max effort to the law of least effort. Now let's talk about the steps I have defined to get there. 10 steps in total. Every runner will get through these steps. You will too. When runners integrate the basic elements of running and living the 9-mile way into their lives, they achieve a certain level of 9-miler state. Different from what you are used to, and certainly different from what traditional coaches tell you. Age group athletes who achieve this state will intuitively and instinctively know what to do. With the Marathon Mastery program, you will find this balance in your life, which allows you to face the challenges in your running at the same time. As any athlete knows, performance is as much mental as physical, and at times even more mental. With the 9-mile marathon program, I want you to be able to achieve this running state in a relatively easy, controlled way. Based on my own experiences, the knowledge Bas and I learned from other innovators in running and ultra-endurance sports, and all experiences we had with our running students. I have said this before in the first module. While arriving at this state of being a 9-miler, it's the awakening or the beginning for you as an athlete into a new realm of overall fitness, performance, and health. In the Marathon Mastery program, I have 10 steps for this awakening, for this new beginning. 10 steps to running and living the 9-miler way. 10 steps to Marathon Running Mastery. The first step is curiosity. Obviously, you are curious to know more about this new marathon training system, even when it goes against the conventional wisdom about running. You may be curious about the program itself, the background, the big idea behind it. Today, I want to share with you how I got into this program. It's my story, my life, my epiphany, how I got there, and how the 9 Mile concept was born. In 2014, my world fell apart. My dad was diagnosed with colorectal cancer. I found myself in the middle of a divorce, working my way through the process, trying to keep my twin daughters with me as much as possible. Being a professional with a degree in architecture and interior design, due to the financial crisis at its worst back then, I had to find new ways to pay the bills. Honestly, I was devastated. I was worn out. I mean really bad. Exhausted. Making a new living. Coping with the realities. Being a good mom. Staying open-minded. Focused. Learning. Building a new social life. And at the same time, keep doing what I love most. Marathon running and triathlon. Then there was this breakthrough. This experience of striking realization. The opportunity I discovered. Coincidence? Serendipity? The support I unexpectedly received from this wonderful Dutch medical researcher, old forgotten training concepts and thoughts about nutrition. The new system it became. The transformation I experienced. The sudden striking realization I found something new. This breakthrough. It was the key to picking up my new life again. Today I know the 9 Mile Marathon concept is the only training system available at the market to allow people like you and me living a busy life with work, family and friends to finish marathons solid and strong. Without the need to run these endless long and slow 18+ mile training runs who are wearing you out like boiling the frog slowly. With the 9 Mile Marathon journey, in essence, I want you to be able to experience the same. That balance and the feeling you can keep on going forever. That magic of running the 9 Mile away. Just 1 year later, in 2015, I became world champion Ironman 70.3 in the female 40+ category, running the 7th fastest half marathon overall, including the pros. My half marathon finish time was 1:24. This is after the 1.9 kilometer swim and 90k time trial on the bike. I did it with this new formula. From that moment on, I knew I had to share this concept with the world. And that's what I did. That is where we are today. The next step in the Mastery 10 Steps is about the importance of information, data, facts. And you need all information you can get. Precisely because the 9 Mile Marathon runs counter to what traditional coaches wanted us to believe for the past 4 decades, it is crucial we gather information and understand the basics, so there is no doubt this approach not only makes sense, but is right for you. When you separate yourself from the masses, you need to be armed because people will want to take you down, even concerned loved ones and running mates. We need answers to counter their doubts. And we need answers to flush out our own doubts, tucked deep away in our own psyche. So here we are. I invite you to absorb all information from this program, because you will have many questions. I want you to be able to access all information you need. With this course program, the support you get, the group calls and the community I have created, I want to give this to you. That's my commitment to you. Now let's talk about the next step. About what will happen after gathering all this information, I call assessment. Once you have gathered information, it's time to assess where you are as an age group athlete, to determine the value, the significance, along with your environment, lifestyle, and running. This is what we do with the 6 questions from the previous module. The challenge will be that I want you to step outside yourself and your belief systems about running to objectively assess where you are, where you want to go, and how to get there in a realistic, objective way. Mentally, physically, socially, spiritually. I realize that asking you to start training and running the 9 Mile Away, in fact, is asking you to do the above. Look at the past years training the regular way. What was the main reason for you to start with the 9 Mile Marathon anyway? What was the biggest significance for you? In what way do you believe training the 9 Mile Away will make that difference? Assessment then becomes a subconscious part of your 9 mile journey. Be aware, then put these values, the significance in your backpack. Let them be, take them with you, and enjoy the journey. With only one goal, living a balanced, healthy life and running like you can keep on going forever, any time of the day, whenever you want it. Living this new realm of overall fitness, performance, and health. So now you're ready for the next step. Step 4. Decision. Key for the mental game and key to following through on action. In particular, when you're going against conventional wisdom, methods of your peers at the running club. Making the decision to embrace the 9 mile journey is a big step because it is a life-transforming journey. It is stepping out of not only your comfort zone, but stepping away from the masses mentality and becoming an individual. Such a conscious decision means you are taking responsibility, committing, and recognizing this is your journey, not a quick fix. Now here's the great thing about this step, decision. Making the decision is done in a snap, as training and living the 9 Mile Away becomes an integral part of a lifestyle. Achieving it is easier than it seems, because of the deep physiological shift driving the change. It is no accident many 9 milers report back to me a change in their ability to focus, to perform and maintain an even state of emotional stability. Running in the 9 mile zone becomes the norm, both in your running and your daily life. After a decision is made, your next step will be action. Once you made a decision, once you have decided training and running the 9 Mile Away is the way for you to go, and once you have absolutely clarity about the exact result you want and why you must achieve it, then the next step is to take action to get yourself there. For long-term success and follow through the steps, curiosity, information, assessment, decision are necessary to lead action. Action on its own is just a reaction. To set things in motion, you need to get your 9 mile journey on its way through the previous steps. The previous steps: curiosity, information, assessment, decision, lead to clarity about the exact results you want and why you believe you must achieve it. Most marathon runners have strong characters. Marathon runners are persistent. They have a big drive because we all have this big dream, and most runners know how to take action. Desire plus action. The best formula to succeed. So we are in the middle of step 5, action. Just the fact that you are here. No doubt about that. The next step is a tricky one. We call it reset. About making the physiological and mental shift. Building confidence. The reset is challenging. Yes. When you reach this step, there is a lot of action behind you already. You reach this step because of the action you took. Because of all the things you already did. If you are a marathon runner who trained the traditional way in the past, training the 9 Mile Away will be different from what you have been used to. A period of severe restriction of running miles, gradually increasing the workload in your interval speed sessions, and increased core strength awareness. a period in which you make the physiological shift to reducing the need for glucose as your primary energy source and tune to fat as fuel for a bigger part of your aerobic activity. You will have learned to tame the monkey mind, how to set goals the 9 mile away, and you will have experienced moments of razor-sharp focus, clear minds, and effortless running. It will take around 5 to 6 weeks before your MHR runs will start to feel like you can keep on going forever. But there will be indicators, rewarding indicators. After 3 to 4 weeks, your running pace at MHR will start to increase. As you move into the later stages, you can push the pace, power, and, while you will not feel like you're working that hard, your running watch will already tell you a different story. During the end of this reset, many 9-milers athletes report a lower heart rate at the same perceived effort level. Maybe 3 or 5 heartbeats lower. Or they are able to maintain a pace effortlessly at the same MHR which previously felt hard. What is actually happening? At this moment, you are increasing your physiological and metabolic efficiency at your marathon heart rate. So this is a big moment, your first reward. But it is the tricky part at the very same time. This ease of training can be deceptive to the point you don't think you are improving at all. Think of these words when you're there. You will need them to believe and be aware of the progress you are making. You're not there yet today, obviously, but you have already made the first steps towards your reset. The next step is transition. Step number 7. Another great step, and again, very rewarding. Once this happens, after the first 5 to 6 weeks of getting used to running at MHR, there's a period of 4 weeks of so-called upregulation of the hormones and enzymes necessary to optimize your new type of training, physique, and metabolism. The transition is actually taking place. You will start to feel that training the 9 mile away is paying off. Every training you do has a much bigger effect. Running your 8 to 9 mile MHR training runs will be totally effortless. It feels like you're ready for so much more. And in fact, you are. By that time, we are heading toward the key stage of training and living the 9 mile away. Individualization. So interesting. About 9 weeks after the start of your 9 mile journey, you will be individualizing your needs to meet your specific genetics, athletic goals, and lifestyle. This is where your patience pays off. You now have a much greater and more robust aerobic-based system, giving you much greater capacity for intensity and volume. MHR, ESS, and AFA, the lower oxidative stress, lactate load, and inflammation provided by this new metabolic state reduce the negative impacts of training. As an age group athlete, you now can handle a significantly higher volume of training, competition, and adapt faster to stress response provided by the training load. This is the feedback I hear from my 9-miler students who ran the final miles of the marathon incredibly strong, who felt strong and happy throughout the entire race, and who were able to make remarkably rapid returns to their normal life, their trainings, and even new races despite the severe impact of running a marathon. So this is where you will start to feel the changes you made. After this, there are only 2 more steps left. The next one is awareness, which is different from overthinking. I like to give it this definition. Looking at reality to see things from what they really are. Trying to be aware of your journey, your growth, is the challenge rather than overthinking when thoughts become distractions. We will address this in Module 6 of this program. Awareness will allow you to remain focused on the task at hand. At the same time, you are aware of other factors which influence the same task. This is your final stage before entering the last one. You will be aware of what really happened, of what you did and what you have become. This is the reward. Entering a race will have a different meaning to you then. Any race, any run, any training, any situation, any challenge. You will be a 9-miler. You will say, I am a 9-miler. I am running and living it. After the initial changes of training the 9-mile way, followed by the transition, you are now on a journey of transformation. Your physiology and your lifestyle become more adapted to running the 9-mile way. Everything about this approach becomes simpler and more sustainable. The longer you are in it, the simpler it becomes. Most changes will be minute and unnoticed because your perceived effort is less. So you don't think you are actually going as fast, even though you are faster, stronger, performing better. You then achieve a certain level of the 9-miler Zen, or the Zen of the 9-miler. Marathon mastery, I call it in this program. Runners who achieve this state intuitively and instinctively know what and when to do. They achieve a balance in their lives which allows them to face the challenges in their sport, profession, and personal lives with focus, quiet confidence, and resolve. This constant level of increased mental clarity only improves over time. Why and how? Through the fundamental physiological and mental shifts, running and living the 9-mile way. MHR running, core strength, speed interval, stretching. Through AFA, never wearing yourself out. And avoid fatigue accumulation. Through optimized fat metabolism, ESS, not only fueling the body, but providing the brain with a constant level of energy. The mental focus and clarity of thought are some of the benefits many 9-milers command on as they adapt more and more to running and living the 9-mile way. We will make this journey together. This program is the outline, the big picture, with detailed modules. Your step-by-step guide, the cookbook, filled with recipes. You do the work, and I will be there to support you. I am really looking forward to making this journey together with you. In the resources, you will find a worksheet with the 10 steps. Click on the link and it will open in Google Docs for you. Click on File and make a copy. What I want you to do right now is to print it out and to determine where you are today. Put a date stamp where you believe you are right now. Pin it on the wall, somewhere you see it every day. And put a new date on the next step you have reached. Every time you do, until you have reached the final step, step 10, transformation. Here's another thing I want you to do today. Reread the answers to the 6 questions. The answers you gave yesterday. And make the first iteration. Your second assignment for today. Make V2, version 2. Now let's have a final quick word about the differences between the old model and the new model so that it's totally clear to you. I will give you some examples. In the old model, you are running those endless long and slow training miles wearing you out, like boiling the frog slowly. Many training runs are more than 2 hours, even over 3 hours. You start to feel those little pains slowly creeping in. The little pains are getting worse every next long run. While the first 3 or 4 long runs were going pretty well, the more long runs you do, the tougher they get. The new model is doing your MHR runs. They are max 9 miles long, exactly at your marathon heart rate. The very same heart rate you are going to use during your race. Your MHR runs are max 1.5 hours. No degrading, no fatigue accumulation, no injury, no stress. Another example, the old model. Your coach is telling you that you should run your marathon in so and so hours and minutes. He will tell you this because you ran your fastest ever marathon in so and so hours and minutes. He will tell you that you must be able to run your marathon faster now. The new Marathon Mastery model is based on MHR only. You will run all your training runs at MHR. So, after 5 to 8 weeks, you will know which pace you're running at. Then it is easy to predict your marathon finish time from there. No guessing, no unrealistic goals. A predictable and repeatable new running science instead. One more example. In the old model, you will spend most of your training time on long and slow running, at least 7 hours each week. In the new model, you will spend way less time overall, and you will spend way more time on your overall fitness, strength, and health, and on your running speed, which will give you a great feeling strong and self-confident. A final example. In the old model, you will do the carbs loading a week before race day, and you will pasta party the evening before race day. In the old model, the mantra is, the more carbs you can load, the better. You will stuff yourself with carbs. You will fight GI issues. You will fight that heavy feeling. You will bring energy bars, gels and drinks on every training run. And on race day morning, you will stuff yourself again, as much as you can. In the new model, the week before race day, nothing different. You eat the way you're used to. Drink the way you're used to. The evening before your race, nothing different. Drink your normal drinks. Eat your normal meals. On race day morning, nothing different. No stuffing, no sugar bombs, nothing. And no GI issues. Just that light feel, the feeling you're ready. In the resources, you will find a worksheet with old and new model examples. Click on the link and it will open in Google Docs for you. Click on File and make a copy. You will be able to edit your document so you can add your own examples. What I want you to do is to add at least 3 old and new examples you think will be applicable to your own marathon running. So that's it for now. Make sure you download those resources, do the work and get it done. I will see you in the next video.